Hello everyone! I have finished the design of the Ollivanders and Scribbulus building. I'm really excited and I can't wait to show you the final look. So let's dive in right now. So here you have it, the final design of my Ollivanders and Scribbulus modular building. First things first, let's start with what is wrong in this picture. We have a brown owl missing here, and we have a white owl with open wings missing here. Worse than that, this gray small bar with a clip is attached to the pole while it should be attached to the newspaper here. So these are limitations from Bricklink Studio. The two owls that are missing are not available as parts that I can use, and it doesn't allow that clip to attach to this part. But this is part of the Diagonale original design. We know it works, so I don't think it's a problem. So let me show you all around the building, because this front facade is mostly what the original set already had. If you look in detail, I have one additional layer of plates here, so the buildings are slightly taller. But other than that, I managed to keep the full equal design to what the original set had. So the difference is all here in the back, because there was no back at the original design. It's simpler than the front facade, of course, because it's the back of a building, but I think I managed to keep a consistent design all around, and I'm actually very happy as this turned out. If you have been following my videos, you see a lot of differences here. I added the external stairs to give access to the first floor. I added some gravel or stonework here in the ground, similar to the road in the front, to give it a bit more life. Added a few details, so a barrel here, and added here in the hallway of the first floor a stair to give access to the rooftop. The rooftop has some slight changes also. I had to push up a bit the ground, and of course I left a low wall all around. I think that's it for the exterior. So let's look a bit to each floor and each part of the building. So let's start with the rooftop to show you that these parts here caused me a bit of a problem. If you saw my last video, I was expecting and planning to have two different rooftops that would be removable separately to keep the two different heights, but I couldn't have that difference in heights detachable because of these parts here. They cross this layer of gray here, which is the ground of the rooftop. So what I had to do was to have actually two layers. You see here, the rooftop has like the ceiling of the first floor, and then has an empty area in the middle, and then the layer of the ground of the rooftop. That was the only way I managed to have the two rooftops at two different heights and have them on the same build. I needed that this whole area was one single build because of these parts here. So let's look a bit on the interior of the first floor. So you can see I added a lot of wand cabinets. I left the desk and the chair. You have the opening for the ground floor. And from my last video, I aligned the windows. I forgot to mention that when I was looking at the building from the outside. And that is on the Ollivander side. On the Scribbulus side, basically it's equal to the last video. I have the fireplace, a small cabinet, the sofa, the rug, and then the bed, the bedside table with the oil lamp. Moving to the ground floor, this has nothing new. There's a lot of wand cabinets, the stairs, that support table, the Ollivander's counter, and in Scribbulus, the cabinet with the writing supplies, the table, and this trunk that here in Studio I can't fit it there because Studio obliges to have studs to fit in things. But inside this trunk it will be these scrolls that will be sold on Scribbulus. That was something that I added, it was not on the original set. So that's it. I hope you have liked the design, and I would love to know your thoughts in the comments section. This last mile took me around 21 hours to a total of 64 in the project. But it was not all designing the last bits of the Ollivanders and Scribbulus shops. After finishing, I was really eager to get the parts and start building it. So I did a cross-check between the parts I used in the design, around 2,700, with the parts of the 2 diagonales that I already have. With this information, I optimized a bit the part usage without affecting the design. But the conclusion I reached is that I can't do this properly without having the design of the 4 buildings. So I decided that I will first design the 3 remaining buildings, and only after that I will buy the parts and build the full MOC. So my next step will be to start designing the building of the quality Quidditch supplies and the Daily Prophet. Stay safe, and I see you in the next video.